Hello, in this video we will discuss the move from local email to cloud-based email using Microsoft Office 365. From a user's point of view, most of this will be transparent as most of the configuration occurs behind the scenes. You will, however, receive an email with a new password and a link to the Office 365 website. Following the instructions included in the email, we will click on the 365 website link. Make note of the username and password included in the email, as this will be necessary to create your account. Once the Office 365 website has launched, type in your username and password that was included in the email. When working from your computer, it's a good idea to use the Keep Me Signed In. Since you're using a temporary password, this will have little effect, but once the permanent password is set, this will prevent you from having to sign in repeatedly. Upon logging in, you will immediately be prompted to save a new password. Type in the temporary password you received in the email. Create your new password. Keep in mind that this password is for your email only. In the past, the email password has been synchronized with your Active Directory password. That is the password that you use to log into your computer. This may or may not be the case going forward, as you have total control over what this password is. The password needs to be a strong password. This means it includes a minimum of 8 characters and includes 3 of the 4 character sets, being uppercase, lowercase, numbers, and symbols. Confirm the entry of your new password. Save your newly created strong password. You will now be prompted to log in using your new email password. Be sure to click the Keep Me Signed In option. Click on the Sign In button. If you're prompted by your browser to save the password, you can do so. The ESS team will work with your local IT department to move your mailbox. If this has not been done, you will be redirected to a web page that clearly states there is no mailbox found for your user. Coordinating with your local IT department, the ESS team will set a go-live date. This will be when your mailbox is actually moved from your local computer to the cloud. In the interim, you will continue to send and receive mail as usual. On the specified go-live date, at some point you will receive the message that the Microsoft Exchange Administrator has made a change that requires you to restart Outlook. Simply click OK. Close the Outlook application. Relaunch Outlook to recognize the changes. The first time you launch your mailbox after the move, you will be prompted for a username and password. When prompted, enter your username. This was included in the email you received earlier. Typically, this will be your first initial and last name at morrismultimedia.com. The first time you launch Outlook after the mailbox move, you will be prompted for a password. Enter your newly created password. Remember, this is the password that you just created, and it may or may not match your Active Directory password. If you're working on your computer, it's a good idea to click the Remember Password. This will keep you from having to log in every time you launch your email. Once you have entered your username and password, click OK. Relaunch Outlook. You may be prompted to restart Outlook due to administrator changes more than once. Once Outlook launches, you will not notice any difference. Your mailbox is still intact. Settings. This concludes all the necessary setup to move the email from the local client to the cloud base. There are a couple differences, and to recap, those differences are your password. The password you created is for your email only. This is not necessarily the same as your Active Directory password that you use to log into your computer. Only you will know what your email password is. Another key difference is the cloud-based email is not compatible with Office 2003. If you are on Office 2003, it will be necessary for you to use the email client in the web interface. To access email via the web interface, go to mail.office365.com. Enter your username, which is typically your first initial, last name, at morrismultimedia.com, and your newly created password. The final change that needs to be made to complete the mail move from local server to the cloud is adjusting the login for any mobile devices that you receive your work email. So to do this, typically your mobile device will ask for a domain name. The domain name will be m.outlook.com. and your username will be your first initial and last name at morrismultimedia.com. This will not be your email address, but it's always at morrismultimedia.com. This concludes the video on transitioning email from the local client to cloud-based. Thank you.